Good Vach. As today was Vav Tishrei, I'd like to share a story about Vav Tishrei. First of all, this is a Farbrengen the Rebbe talked about on Vav Tishrei, about the earth side of his mother, and this was in Tafshin Chav Vav. And he spoke a lot about the different things his mother did, and the Haidah, everybody should learn how one can do something special, learn something special, and do something special for Torah mitzvahs with everything in the world. And he went on to continue to say a story from the Doiver of Mazich, the Maggid of Mazich. In the name, this was said by the Reb Maharash, that the Maggid of Mazich said, they asked a question, why does it say, we say to Hashem, so these days, Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, we say it every Shabbos, for that matter, we ask Hashem in Nishmas Kol Chai that our eyes should be kashemesh v'chayoreach. And he asked the question, why do we ask Hashem that our eye, I should be like the shemesh and the yoreach? The shemesh, of course, is all. It's always in full term, and it's always fully big. Versus the yoreach is most, and the first half of the month is very small, completely nothing, and then it becomes big, and then it becomes small again. So if you ask Hashem to be like the shemesh, then yoreach is superfluous. In fact, it's not even beneficial. And the Rebbe said that the Maggid of Mazich explained a beautiful thing, and that is that it's a shemesh, of course, is always the same, always big, true, has a very good milah. But at the same time, the Maggid explained that when you have something all the time, you don't have the tainug, you don't have the pleasure of having it, because eventually you have it, and then you don't have the tainug pleasure anymore. Versus somebody who doesn't have, and suddenly he has something new, then he has a very big pleasure from it. And that's the yoreach. There are times he doesn't have it, and suddenly he has the shine of the sun, and he has much more tainug. And he gave a mashal. And he said a mashal, we have a poor man and a wealthy man. And the two people go out, and independently they find $100. So who's going to be more happy with $100? And the Maggid of Mazich explained that certainly the poor man is going to be much, much happier, because the wealthy man, he has many hundreds of dollars, so he has one more. Versus the poor man doesn't have any money, or doesn't have $100, and suddenly after all this time, he found $100. So his pleasure, his tainug is much, much, much greater. And the same thing, he said, we ask Hashem over these days of Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, that on the one hand, we should be kashemesh, we should be like the sun, which means to have the benefit of Hashem, the brachas of Hashem all the time in full swing. But the same thing, we shouldn't be tired, in other words, of not appreciating the bracha, like the shemesh after a while, because it burns all the time in full swing, it doesn't have the same pleasure anymore, but we should be like the yoreach, that as if the tiny, when he finally gets it, is much, much greater. So that's why the Maggid explained, and the Rebbe said this on Vav Tishrei, that we should have the brachas kashemesh v'chayoreach. And we ask Hashem that in fact all the Yidden should have Klal Yisrael should have the brachas this year, like the shemesh and like the yoreach.
Amen.